Welcome to the University of North Georgia Political Science and International Affairs YouTube channel. Victoria is an international affairs major, minoring in both public administration and public service, as well as Spanish. She has the distinct honor of recently being named the inaugural recipient of our department's Dr. Barry Friedman Scholarship in Political Science and International Affairs. We caught up with Victoria shortly after she was formally awarded the scholarship to chat and get her reaction. Hi, Victoria.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Okay, so first question is, how do you feel about receiving this scholarship? What does it mean to you?
Yeah, so it was a tremendous honor to receive this. I didn't realize I was the first recipient of this, which is like a huge honor to me because I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So I was really excited, especially after having met Dr. Barry and the faculty and staff behind this amazing scholarship fund. It was just amazing to like get to know them and have conversations with them and everything and see what great role models they all are to the students in the Department of Poli-Sci. I think because it was like specifically a Poli-Sci award is especially special to me because it was very personable and just very important to me that like all of my hard work has paid off in the department, and then all of the professors who have come around to support me and just encourage me along my journey has been such a huge help, and I owe my success to them. So it was a huge honor.
Before we get into any more like particulars, just tell us about yourself, kind of your personal background, academic, all that.
Okay. So as you know, I'm a senior right now. I started off with an international affairs major with an concentration in Europe. And I've stuck with that throughout my 4 years at UNG. I really fell in love with the subject, mostly of like poli-sci was something I had to get used to a little bit because I initially just like wanted to do history when I was first like graduating high school. I graduated from Covenant Academy in Macon. And history has always been like my favorite subject. And I recently started to get more into poli-sci. And just like really interested in current events and whatnot. And so when I started taking more of my poli-sci classes, I was like, this is actually so interesting. Especially the element of international affairs and just current events from around the world really piqued my interest. So I was able to take classes, especially in like Europe. My European concentration allowed me to take classes with like history from all over Europe, as well as how that relates to our American foreign policy and everything. So certainly a very interesting topic. I decided to add my Spanish minor after I came back from a mission trip to Ecuador. I was there for about a month, and I really just fell in love with the language. I really wanted to learn to speak with the people that I was, out there helping and everything. And even here, I just have met so many amazing people that I would like to be able to speak with. So I decided to declare my minor in Spanish. And then I was able to go on a study abroad trip this past summer to Spain, where I'm hoping to return through some amazing miracle. I would love to go back to Spain and, hopefully become an English teaching assistant through Fulbright. And so after that, my most recent addition to my academic career has been the public administration and public service minor. It was recently introduced to me by Dr. Armstrong Williams, Dr. Kelly, Dr. Vimman Miller. They all encouraged me to go ahead and try this new minor that the school is just creating. And I have loved the classes. Loved all the professors, of course, that have guided me to taking it. That's like another aspect of the school that I really, really like, is they're always pushing you to go further and showing you new things to try, introducing new things to your academic career and everything to make you the best candidate for a job possible after graduation.
For sure. Perfect. So this is kind of going back to your time at Covenant Academy in high school, but before coming to UNG, like what got you interested in international affairs, and then what made you want to pick UNG for that?
Okay, so international affairs, like I was saying, I always had an interest in history and everything like that. I think the idea of international affairs kind of came whenever I first heard about certain jobs, and like with the State Department, for instance, the Foreign Service Officer or U.S. Agency for International Development, which is currently what I'm kind of tracking towards in this moment. I think the idea of international development is super interesting to me. For one, it's piqued my interest. In my internship, I really enjoy just working out in the field and everything like that. So I think like just traveling and, learning about new cultures has always been super interesting to me as well. So that's kind of where it all started, was just even in high school, just having an interest in that. I picked UNG because I did hear that they have a very strong poli-sci department to begin with. I grew up near, this is kind of irrelevant, but I did like grow up near a military base. My whole family's in the military. And I just liked the idea of, being surrounded by that culture here of discipline and patriotism. So, I love that element of it as well. And so, yeah, I would have to say like I chose UNG. Other than for the more, aesthetic parts of it, like the mountains, I love the small town of Dahlonega. And I just heard really good things about the school from other people who have attended.
So you're finishing up your international affairs degree soon, and in addition, you've tacked on these 2 minors. How has your academic schedule been the past couple of years?
Okay, so I will say that to start with the academic schedule question, it has been super busy. It's not something that anybody couldn't handle if you really put your mind to it. I definitely know a lot of my professors have challenged me over the years in my classes, which is something I was looking forward to school anyways. I didn't want to be able to fly through everything and not learn as much as I have by being pushed. So definitely a lot of reading, I would say. I think our major, as we all know, is very like heavy on reading, on research and everything, which I think is super, super helpful and applicable to real world skills, writing especially, I would say. I've written a lot of essays in my time here. But I think that the support that my professors have given me along the way has made my like crazy academic schedule doable. I've taken classes throughout the summer to kind of ease the burden of like what a full semester would look like, or adding on to that so I could complete my 2 minors. And then also a few dual enrollment classes, AP classes from high school have helped me bolster that along the way. So yeah, I would say it has been a lot of work, but definitely worth it in the end. Like I definitely feel like a much more well-rounded person because of like the extra minors I picked up. Like I said, the public administration, public service minor wasn't really on my mind. I mean, it didn't exist before this year, but I would have never thought to do something like that until taking Dr. Kelly's public administration class and then Dr. Gershensen's public policy class. And I just felt like the relevance of these classes to our everyday lives of Americans and like the knowledge that I gained from those classes is really important for just to know the democratic processes that, make our country so great. And then like the relevant policies that are actually affecting our day-to-day lives, and to be able to one day, make my own, or, what I'm saying, like just know what's going on. So I think that is really important. I'm really excited to see where that will take me in my future career. And then as well as the Spanish minor, as you know, it's just, I will say the Spanish department also, I have to give a shout out to them as well, has been super impactful in my career so far. They're the reason I really stuck with it. Wanted to keep taking more and more. I'm taking a few of Spanish classes next semester just for my electives, just for fun. So they've definitely really spurred my love of learning the language. And I think that's another thing is that like my professors have enabled me to enjoy learning rather than make it feel like busy work or something that I don't necessarily look forward to doing. So I really appreciate the way they've kind of revolutionized how learning is and making it more interesting and engaging.
What experience from the department has been most meaningful to you in your academic career as well as life in general? And then kind of off of that, which one do you anticipate being the most meaningful as you start your career?
I'll have to say my class with Dr. Armstrong Williams, probably that we were both in a couple semesters ago. It was actually 2 of them, international political economy combined with international relations theory. And those were some of my most challenging courses that I have ever taken and might ever take in my future. But throughout that, it really taught me how to make myself a more competitive candidate for the through the process of globalization. Now we're competing against people from all over the world for these jobs. And I think that just like the ability to market myself, to push myself, to make myself a better candidate, as long as just kind of coming along my fellow peers and like kind of helping each other. I know we had a lot of study group sessions and everything like that to make it through those classes. So I will say those were probably the most impactful, I would say, especially the one-on-ones that I got to have with Dr. Armstrong Williams, as well as like my other academic advisors and really any of my professors in the poli-sci department. I would say those one-on-ones talking about specifically my future and like which decisions are best to make now in order to make me a stronger candidate in the future definitely helped. I think the information that we learned in those classes was super, super helpful as well. You know, we learned
Yes.
history and then like the reason for all of these things going on today, from a historical context to economic context, just everything. I think that made me the best, like most well-rounded student out of all my experiences here. I know that's like a really broad answer, but
No,
probably those two classes.
I would have said the same thing. They were like some of the most like informative classes,
Yes.
personally and academically. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, and just in closing, do you have anything you want to say or advice you have for any like prospective students, current ones, or even former ones?
Yes, I would say keep going. I know it's hard, but it's definitely worth reaching out to all your professors and advisors. I found that like it might be a little intimidating at first to go up to a professor and ask them questions, but I've learned over the years not to be intimidated because they're so there to help you. They're so willing to set a part time in their busy schedules to make sure you get to the place that you need to be, whether it be in academics or even I know like Dr. Land, Dr. Hightower have helped me so much in like outside scholarships and like different Fulbright grants and everything like that. So both like in your academic career and outside of that, as far as any other aspirations you may have, definitely approach them with your questions. Like tell them where you want to go, and they're going to help you get there. So I would say just be bold and determined. You know what I'm saying? Keep on reaching out. Keep on asking questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Victoria, for your time. Congratulations again on your award.
Thank you.
We wish you the best on the remainder of your career with UNG.
Thank you so much.